Book 339. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about Area 22 and the Prison of Disembodied Souls, Part 2. That's right, Area 22 and the Prison of Disembodied Souls, Part 2. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, in Area 22 and the Prison of Disembodied Souls, Part 1, I do not know why, he said to himself, but I must find this Area 22 and the Prison of Disembodied Souls. Then, the man went back to reading and shredding the other documents. His mind was so preoccupied with the task in front of him and his thoughts about what he was about to do that he did not even notice the four shadowy figures fading in and out of reality that were standing in the four corners of the room, watching him. Rushing through the rest of his tasks, the man secured his stolen file in a secret compartment in his briefcase, and he apprehensively went through all of the security checkpoints necessary to exit the government building he was working in. After exiting the building, the man made arrangements to pretend to have contracted COVID-19 so that he could take 2 weeks off from work without anyone coming to check on him. Then, the man purchased a plane ticket under a fake name and traveled to the portion of the Rocky mountain range that cut through the state of Idaho. Consulting the coordinates he found in the classified files, the man reached the location of the base. As expected, it was concealed well, but from the pictures he examined, he knew exactly what to look for. Approaching the spot with caution, but not worrying too much, the man found what he knew to be the door of the facility. From experience, he understood that a base such as this one would not have a heavy security presence. Too much security would make the location too conspicuous. Removing a rock which was concealing a keypad, the man punched in the 22-digit passcode he found in the documents. Instantly, he could hear gears grinding, and a large boulder loudly released its compressed air and slid to the side. In front of him, the man could see a stainless steel hallway leading deep into the side of the mountain. Following the many corridors and surprisingly finding the entire base empty, the man reached the area where the cages were kept. Gasping loudly, he found himself standing face to face with the images from the photographs. The room was filled with hundreds of cages, and each cage contained a human. As he approached, his presence drew the attention of the prisoners, and they all stepped to the front of their cages to examine him. They all stared at the man for a moment, and then they began reaching their arms through the bars and calling out to him in many foreign languages. Some he could partially recognize, and some did not sound like any languages he had ever heard on Earth. The ones he could understand seemed to be asking for help. Recognizing what seemed like a dialect of the English language coming from one cage, the man searched for the source of it. When he saw where it came from, he was shocked. Locked up inside of the cage was a man dressed in the style of a royal monarch from the 16th century England. A plaque bolted down to the front of the cage read, James VI and 1st, James Charles Stewart, June 19, 1566 to March 27, 1625, was King of Scotland as James VI from July 24, 1567, and King of England and Ireland as James I from the union of the Scottish and English crowns on March 24, 1603 until his death in 1625. The man stumbled back. He had studied enough history to know exactly who that referred to. James Charles Stewart was the king whose name graced the cover of the most famous version of the Bible in history, the Holy King James Version. You, sir, the man in the cage called out, if ye doth release me from mine bonds of affliction, I swear an oath to ye this day that I shall reward you with the riches of mine kingdom. The man's jaw dropped as his brain tried to process what he was witnessing. You, the man stammered out. You can't be King James. You're supposed to be dead. And with that, the man passed out from sheer shock and collapsed to the floor. The four shadowy figures who had been following him watched these events unfold from a safe distance. To be continued in Area 22 and the Prison of Disembodied Souls, Part 3. And so, the morning motivation of today is Area 22 and the Prison of Disembodied Souls, Part 2. When destiny finds you, be prepared to be knocked off of your feet. There lies before you an endless realm of possibilities once you make the decision to cast your fears to the side and follow the calling of your heart. You cannot imagine what you will discover once you step on the other side of fear and doubt. Those desires within you that died when you were young can become reborn and revitalized if only you determine to take the journey of discovery. But prepare yourself, or you run the risk of being blown away by your own potential. Today, expect the unexpected, believe the unbelievable, and always strive to do that which is good. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. To order books in the Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels book series, search Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels on Amazon.com or visit www.dandyandbigherm.com.